Good afternoon, guys, and happy Friday to all of your sunshiny faces. B, where do you think you're going? Bravo. Felicity, you're supposed to go upstairs. Why are all the dogs running into the living room like we're going in here? All the lights are turned off in here, and all the dogs just decided they were gonna come in here. Anyways, guys, I've got something to show you guys with the new cabinets. But guys, got a ton of stuff done today, and as I was telling you, I think on Monday, I spent so much time doing other projects and stuff like that today that I didn't get the chance to take care of, like, you know, the actual like other things that were on my planner to get done for today. So guys, this behind me, okay, not the food, this though behind me is the new cabinets that we got to put in here. And we've still got our overflowing table full of food right now because tomorrow, I think, and maybe I'll share with you guys, I believe I'm going to completely reorganize all of our food cabinets. Because what I figured is this cabinet, because it has got the pull-out drawers on here, so these ones pull out and everything like that, and this one that is over here does not. It just has regular like shelves, which we put contact paper on. So that was one of the other big projects for today. We got it has got 4 shelves, and including, like, you know, the bottom, but it's got 3 shelves, and then also the bottom part as well. So that I figure would probably be better for storing things that we probably don't use quite as often, i.e. spices and seasonings. Although eventually, long term, guys, is we're going to be getting a new stove. The stove we have over here is not a traditional stove size because it has got the griddle in the middle. And that's a fun little rhyme to say, but because of the griddle, it is actually a larger sized oven. The only size ovens they make like that, I think there is one that I've been able to find. The rest are mainly like industrial sized stoves and ovens. And so we, like I said, would have to get probably something like that. Super, super expensive, like, you know, stoves and ovens and everything like that. So what we were going to do is get one of the smaller ones and then eventually put against this wall, like one of those slidey things that you can, pretty much we'd have to make it ourselves, but we'll keep all of our spices and seasonings over there. But it basically just be like a unit sort of thing that can just slide in and out against that wall, that again, we'd be able to put things on. So we'd be able to store some things and extra stuff, because most likely we would lose this storage that's down here, which currently right now holds a lot of pots and pan. Well, actually, I think it has a Dutch oven in there, maybe 1 pot or pan, and also all of the pots and pans lid, because all of those are hanging up in the laundry room on our pots and pans rack. So anyways, that would be the long-term solution. But we do use spices and seasonings pretty often, but some of the other things too, like flour, baking, you know, things and stuff like that, don't get used always on a daily basis as much as snacks and stuff like that do. So my thought is put the snacks in there, because they are the things that, again, we use and we normally have on a regular basis. And sometimes too, if we have 2 or 3 things of, what's it called, like tortilla chips, for example, because there's no tortilla chips right here. But if there's one bag that is already open, like this one that's down here, somebody sees that this one is up on the top, they just grab that one, open up a brand new bag, instead of actually checking to see, oh, we actually have a bag that's already opened. And it's one of my biggest pet peeves. But that's why none of the other cabinets work, because everything that you put in the cabinets, we used to keep our snack stuff like chips and things like that up in this one. Nobody would ever go up there. It was always the chips and stuff like that would be like months old and super stale and stuff like that, just because it wasn't accessible, it wasn't easy and stuff like that. So my brain started getting going once we put all this stuff in today, and I was like, oh, this is totally what we should do. So we're going to most likely move this stuff out of here. Again, long-term spices and seasonings are gonna go over there. But like flour, baking powder, baking soda, which is most of the stuff in here. This is kind of like our baking hub. In this cabinet, some of it can be organized down a little bit, and we can again kind of go through some of the stuff. But again, a lot of these things are things that we don't use on particularly a daily basis because they are smaller. You know, things like spices and seasonings and stuff like that. Mom has got a couple of these from the dollar store that we've had for a while that she just didn't end up using. We also have a couple of actual like short wicker baskets, but I thought that would be really perfect because we can actually still use it and slide things in and out of that cabinet. So that again, if there is something that's more in the back, we can still get to it. I think I was showing you guys too when I actually did organize the spice and seasoning. I put them all into the little containers from, or not containers, the ball canning jars, the smaller ones. And I have them still in the box that they came in. I'm thinking we could just dress it up, maybe do something nice so it doesn't look as nasty, you know, or something like that, and then put it in here. So this cabinet will wind up having that stuff on one of these shelves. I honestly feel like we could totally get another shelf probably to fit in there, maybe even two, possibly, just because of the space. But so long story, guys, everything we ended up doing today, we finished tearing up the last 6 tiles that were over in this area. Dad finished painting everything, the walls all primed and everything, which I guess that wall's actually the one that's on the other side of me. This wall is going to stay white, which was not my decision to make, but I thought my mom was just going to do like one sort of accent wall and just do this one white, because she liked the way that it reflected the sunlight from the window that's over there on the other side. So I thought that's what was going to happen, and the rest of it was going to be like the sort of beige gray that's in the hallway. Apparently that's not how it's going down, and like I said, it's that wall my dad already painted white with a high gloss. So it requires several coats of probably primer again, at least a couple, because it's so glossy, to be able to paint over and paint it the gray that we were going to. And on top of that too, we put the cabinets in. So I guess 2 walls are going to be white in here, and the rest is going to be that beige sort of gray. But anyway, so that's, like I said, guys, this is what I've been waiting for. I'm super excited. The other thing too is that we don't have yet is that we're going to, it's gonna be like that one, and it's going to go up above that part right there, and it will have more storage as well. I think we're gonna do more storage appliances and things like that in that cabinet, and probably the top cabinet as well, but this will be most likely for like food stuff. So like I said, that's what I'm thinking of doing, is switching sort of those 2 things out. I'm not sure what we're gonna do on the top section for right now, but again, we'll kind of cross that bridge when we get there. I'm thinking though that this top cabinet up here I'm gonna leave as is. But again, I love that we have a lot more storage in here, and I seriously thought it was going to make the space feel totally claustrophobic and like this kitchen make it feel tiny. It actually doesn't really. I think it actually does make it feel a little bit bigger, and I think that it's cool that we have that. So what's going to go over that though, over in that back part, I can't even point, back there, is going to be butcher block. Basically the same thing that we have on the coffee bar there. The only thing is I wanted to find a food grade safe like sealer, because we put that down and it was never sealed, and it already has a couple of rings in it and stuff like that. So the I think it's actually called Green Supply Company or something like that. I can't remember. I'll try and let you guys know. It is the brand, or not the brand, it's the company that we actually ended up getting our stain from for our raised garden beds, because they have, like, again, it's not a food grade safe, but it is like a non-toxic, it won't leach anything into the soil, but we were able to stain our beds for our raised garden bed, and again keep it so that it's protected and also non-toxic, and it again isn't going to leach in the soil and all that. So we got that. Actually, we used a different company. Then we started, we got this one because the other one wasn't going to ship for like 2 months or something like that. It was crazy. This one actually got here in less time than it said it was going to. So we were like, okay, this company is pretty awesome. They sent like an entire like supply book of all the things that they carried and all that kind of stuff. And I went and looked up like what, like, you know, if they had like food grade safe just on Google, and that was the first company that popped up. And already having experience with them, we were like, okay, let's totally do this. So I think it was like $35, but we'll most likely have enough to do both of the like I said, the sealers for the old butcher block countertop and the new one that we're going to put there as well. The only reason is we didn't do like regular countertop is because I think at some point my parents do eventually want to replace this old stuff. The only problem is that it has to be custom cut most likely, and they didn't want to get something that was going to match this if they didn't already get this piece, if that makes sense. So they could buy, I think, something that would fit that fine without having to cut it maybe or something like that, but they didn't want to get that, then have it like discontinued by the time they go and replace this at eventually some point. But they probably have to redo the sink, the plumbing, all that kind of stuff. So that's a project for like a completely another day. We're not doing a full kitchen remodel, just a partial. And so mostly the stuff that my dad can't do, which he doesn't really do a lot of plumbing, and never put in countertop before, other than again the butcher block that we put in to make our fake sort of coffee bar in there, which is a real coffee bar, but we already had the window that we mounted it into. That again my dad was able to do. So long story short, like I said, that's what we're planning on doing. But we were able to find this like I think it was a sealant and finish maybe or something like that, but it looked really promising. And like I said, they suggested it for specifically butcher block countertops. A lot of people were asking for that, so I was like, okay, that's awesome, because obviously, like I said, our butcher block countertop is already not looking the greatest. Just there's a couple of rings that you definitely noticed there, and I was like, okay, this was not taken care of properly to begin with. Spent the day, like I said, got the tile pulled up. That's what I did this morning. Then my dad ended up getting both of those in, mounted, everything like that, so it's not going anywhere. It is in its permanent spot and permanent home for now. Then we ended up, after that, my dad was still kind of working on some of that stuff. I started, if you guys didn't see behind me already, started pulling up the tile, which I don't know if you guys can see because the dishes are there, but that was all tile that was back there. I didn't finish all of it. I got about halfway because the dishes weren't that high, but that was after dinner. But I started pulling out all of that stuff. So the tile is all going to be gone. So, and I ripped out the contact paper that we did have here. I also ended up putting, like I said, all the contact paper in on those shelves because those shelves are not finished. So my mom was like, oh, you know what? We have contact paper that, again, something she bought at the dollar store. And she buys so much stuff at the dollar store and has these ideas for things to do with them. And then she doesn't end up always getting them finished. And so we wind up with a whole bunch of extra stuff. And I was like, wow, it's actually convenient that we had all these little things from the dollar store. We didn't have to go out and buy when you're in, you know, quarantine, and you don't have to go out to the store and go and buy that stuff. We had contact paper, and we had, like I said, those baskets that are back there as well. The only thing was we didn't have enough to finish the top shelf in that other cabinet, but not that big of a deal. I just wanted it at least in those ones because those will probably be the ones we use the most, and also because again, they weren't finished. The top one isn't either, but like this stuff, it actually is, this one and these two are both finished, so we don't have to totally worry about them. Anyways, guys, I'm going to most likely do all of this organization and stuff like that tomorrow, so I'll share that with you guys. But yeah, after all that was done, I didn't get to any editing. Didn't really get to a whole lot of dishes. I did unload the dishwasher and started loading it back up, but then there wasn't even enough dishes. I finished unloading it, or I finished loading the whole thing up, and then all these dishes appeared today out of the blue. I don't know where they came from. Actually, I do. From some very specific people that live upstairs. But what's wrong, Mr. Beep? He's getting angry at something. That he's a reflection or a light or something like that he sees outside. Dude, it's okay. Really, nothing's going to harm you. Anyways, or he sees his own reflection in the stairs. Oh my gosh. I was like, what is it? Something is moving. I was like, oh my gosh, it's his reflection. Dude, it's you. It's really you. Anyways, Matthew ended up actually getting the stairs pretty much finished. He cleaned them. Now we're going to paint them and stuff like that. Are we going to do that, Mr. Beep? And all kinds of other stuff. So, yeah, guys. It was a lot today. Then at the end of the day, me and Matthew actually ended up doing face masks, and we did some clay face masks and chilled for the rest of the day, because on top of that too was my parents' anniversary, and my mom really wanted to watch their wedding video, which I guess I haven't seen in like a long time. I know, actually, I think several years ago, probably close to a decade, my aunt and uncle were watching theirs, and I think they were watching my parents too, like at their house, like it was one Easter party or something like that, and they were all watching in the basement. I just remember coming in and like everybody was watching like the family videos and stuff like that. The dog is still upset at his own shadow or his own reflection. So yeah, guys, we are still in sort of disorganized chaos, and it's crazy because we're all stuck in the house and we're all in quarantine, and all this stuff is everywhere, and it's been kind of, like I said, for the last probably over a week that we've had the cabinets, but we've had to get everything like moved out, and again, couldn't leave the stuff in where it was because we had to get that out so we could redo the tile. All that stuff was just, like I said, finally we finished it, guys. Well, we're not completely finished. They didn't get the top piece, the top cabinet piece yet, or my dad didn't, because they didn't have it like ordered or shipped to the store at the right time. I don't know, something. They were supposed to be ordering it or shipping it from a different store because they had it in stock there, but it was considered a stock item. I don't really know how it works, but that, and then too, I think the toe kick, is that what it's called? Thing that goes underneath the cabinets, ended up actually getting broken on delivery, so they're replacing it for free. Like they didn't even deliver it to the house because it was already broken once they actually got it out of the truck, I guess. So they're replacing it and bringing it, or you know, I don't know if they're delivering it or my dad's going to the store to pick it up when he picks up the other shelf, like, you know, the cabinet unit. So I think maybe he's doing that one day coming up soon. And we have the windows open too, guys, because on top of all of that, it's like a bajillion degrees. It was like almost 80 today. Almost, but there's bugs that are trying to get in the house because the lights are all on right now. So yeah, and this is the face mask that me and Matthew used, this Aztec face mask stuff. So yeah, just so happen to be sitting here. It's Aztec Secret clay like mask. So yeah, that's what we ended up doing today, and my face feels so stinking smooth, guys. Like I did it even down to my neck too, and like my face just feels so smooth. And because I already washed my face too, I was like, I don't even need to take a shower. Honestly, I probably just need to brush my teeth and go to bed, because normally I take a shower, kind of just decompress from the day, but I was like, you know what, I'll just brush my teeth and go to bed. So anyways, guys, I will see you all in tomorrow's vlog. If you guys did enjoy today's, make sure you guys give a big old thumbs up. If you guys are new, we'd love it if you'd subscribe, and I'll see all of your sunshiny faces tomorrow. So bye, guys.